from my salary. So I told my husband, don't worry, I'll pay from my pay. I paid that $16,000 for the dome for our event. So the money that I was making, it's either it's going to the church or I'm putting it aside or building up my children life then. And my grandchild was my grandchildren, and the one that was living with me was Joshua. So what I'm trying to share with us, I mean, I'm sharing my life. That everything that I worked hard for, everything that I have, my priority is my family. My priority is my grandchildren. Even if it leaves for me to go to the grave without any cent on me, I am good because I know I've invested it well on my children. And you may have your own. You may have your own list. You may have your own, platform of investments that you are accountable for. Maybe to the Vanoa, maybe to the church, or maybe to the relatives or people that you have adopted along the way. Whichever way it goes, just make sure that you are documenting everything and you update the documents as and when you go along the line. Like, go back to the FNPF that I was sharing initially. From my parents, and then when I got married, I had a daughter. So it was just him and my daughter, 50-50% on my FNPF. And then I have another daughter. That's one thing with me. I love doing paperwork, and I love paperwork. I don't want to continue to, I don't want to leave it for too long. So when I have another daughter, then it becomes a 50, 25, 25. Then I have another daughter, and then it becomes a 25, 25, 25, 25. So when I have my son, then I shift the whole thing to my children. Then it becomes 25, 25, 25, 25. But the 25 that goes to my eldest daughter now go to my grandson, to Joshua, to her eldest son. So it becomes Ophia, Tiare, Elijah, and Joshua. So they become my FNPF, 25% each. I took out my husband because my husband has got his own FNPF, and not knowing whether I'm going to die first or he die first, or whether we're going to be still alive and collect our money. So, well, I was just fortunate enough to be still alive and collect my FNPF. And even by collecting that FNPF, I still stayed true. Yeah, I still stayed true to the nomination. So I banked my FNPF, and thank you, FNPF, for helping me save. And thank you, BSP, for keeping my account. So I banked with the BSP. I put my FNPF there. I gave the tithe to the church. And then I shared to the nomination on the desired amount I want to give to them. So I spent nearly about 80,000. I shared it amongst, I put it into their account. And I tell them, okay, you are my nominees for my FNPF. I am receiving it. I'm still alive, well and active. And with that money that I'm allocating to you, you can use it to use it as an investment to buy your house, buy a piece of land, or to look after a family or to do anything. But for Joshua, I keep it there in his account to help him with his studies, help him with other things. But he's been using that FNPF to buy his car, sell his car. So he's doing a good job about it. And then I keep the bulk there at BSP. So if they come to me and they said, oh, if somebody come to me, I would need help to do that. Or one of my children will say, I'd like to get that, but I don't have enough. And I said, okay, I will help you. So, and they know the drill. They're listening to me. And I said, I will help you. So I will go to my FNPF money at BSP. I will go with them, transfer the help that they needed, and I will tell them, you will pay back. You will pay back. And they pay back. Over the years, they pay back. It's not free. I help them. I take it out. I help them. But they put it back, and they pay back. And because now, with all that, I've had my car for 10 years. And all throughout the years, and I'm telling myself, okay, when I finish with this car, I need to get another car. But after I get my FNPF, I bought a small car that is easy for me to go to and from work. And do the little runarounds that you don't need big cars to do for you. So I had that car for over 10 years. And last 2 years, my son walked into my office and he says, Mom, you need to let that car go. And I said, man, that car has really served me well for 10 years. And not only that, like for long trips and for cutting things, it has really helped Elijah. I'm not willing to let go. So, and I said, okay, it's up to you. I just want to remind you that that car needs to go. And last year, when we came back from somewhere, little things begin to happen to that car. The boot can't open. We just left the airport, the boot was opening. And when we came to Yandua, the boot refused to open. So the boot wasn't opening. There were little things. The dashboard you want to close, and then it refused to stay there. It keep on coming out. And those were signs to me, was telling me, okay, let go of this car. And so I finally told my son, okay, I'm ready and willing for you to sell my car. Because, and then I reflect back on my FNPF that I've, I mean, FNPF is for you. It's for you. It's not for the community. It's not for the church. It's
for you.
It's for you. You worked hard for it. You missed family time for it. You stayed in the office for it, you know? And I must thank the government. I mean, for whoever thought of that FNPF, it's really a big help. And please don't ever take it away. And now they've even gone broader to take in people who are not even working, that you can be members of FNPF. And that's even more better. So back to what I'm sharing. And then right now, when I went back to the bank with my son and said, okay, now I want to, get another car because we are selling that car. So I managed to get another car. I get my FNPF, pay Carpenters. Thank you, Carpenters. If you're looking for a car, they have the best service, best customer service as well. And thank you for making that happen for me. So I used my FNPF money to pay, a bit of my FNPF money to pay Carpenters to take down the amount. And then I went to Credit Corp to organize a loan on my pay slip to pay for my car. So, and thank you, Credit Corp. Credit Corp, if you're looking for servers, the most efficient, I would say, this is not the first time that I've come to Credit Corp. They have served us over our loan for the miniature vehicles years back. I think about 8 to 9 years back. They really served well. I like their system, very easy, very fast. They're very friendly. They don't make you feel like pay up, that kind of feeling. I would like to recommend Credit Corp if you're looking for loan. If you're not happy with them, then you go. Make Credit Corp your first option. Because I've done 2 loans with them for the church, for the vehicles that it was getting a loan for with one of our friends, Olimegs, way back in Nandi. But after a very long time, then I went back to them because I didn't have any other loan. Then I went back to them that I can loan for the balance of my car to pay on payments. And, the service never changed. The people may have changed in Credit Corp, not to my knowledge, but their service never changed. Their service never changed. And they really, they ask the right questions. Yeah. It's like they try to help you to be able to get the loan, not like to scrutinize you and cancel you not to get the loan. And, like giving that impression. And I know what loan agencies do. They want to make sure that you can pay your loan. Yeah. And they will ask you all those kind of questions. They are not trying to, kill you in the process, but they are trying to make sure that they are correct in approving your loan, because come the time that you cannot pay up, they will not be beating their chest to say, I shouldn't have given them the loan. They do. That's why I believe, I try to find reason why they ask for those kind of questions. But that's the only answer that I can find. But with Credit Corp, they do ask the questions, but they ask it in a way that you're willing to give all the answers that you can get. And they're very friendly. So I recommend Credit Corp. They're not sponsoring this program, but I am. And also, I recommend Carpenters if you're looking for a car. One thing new that I learned from them, you cannot trade in if you're buying pre-owned cars, but they can only take trade in if you're buying firm-out cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
like for firm-out new cars, only then they can take trade in. But for pre-owned cars, they cannot take a trade-in. That's one. And second, they cannot take car that is already adjusted
Okay.
from the original for what it
yeah.
was. Because when we got to the V8, it was very original the way
Yeah.
it was, but we did some changes to it. So once you do the change, that cannot be accepted in for trading.
Trading.
Yeah, something new that I've learned. But you can visit their office out there in Wallu Bay for more advices, more technical one. I can only give you the high overview on, but I would say they are the best. They are the best. So, well, go back to the FNPF money. Because I'm not on Facebook, but a lot of people, not a lot of people, somebody, I think, Gaselevo, somebody mentioned, they're talking about your car in the, Facebook or gone viral. Because I'm not in it, so I don't know what they're talking about. But I don't know why they're talking about it, because it's my hard-earned money. For my FNPF money, that's my money. It's not anybody else's money. It's my money, and I want to use my money on myself. Because I say to myself, I've been helping out all my children, my grandchildren, investing my husband, buying my husband's car, my children's car. And I'm always looking out for people. Have you realized that? I've always been buying their cars and I'm sitting back. And that happens to my office as well. I've been doing up people's offers, making it, so grand for them to work in. And I'm joining all the old tables together behind me to hold my printer. I have a drawer that cannot open from the last 5 years. And I have all these antique pieces behind me in my office, while everybody else's office looks so good. So last 2 weeks, I said to myself, I better change the way I look. I better change. I should invest on myself. So that is just the person I am. And then for this year, I said to myself, no, I've bought the cars that I needed to buy. I've helped them with my finances. I've helped my grandchildren. And now I will let go of my car and sell. With the money coming in, I can put it back and pay off my loan.
Yeah, but,
and not only that, I'm keeping it because I've got Joshua and Joshua and Joshua's friends, Junior and Carlos, that I'm still doing the process of their studies. Joshua will be traveling across soon, and then the 2 boys will follow after. And I'm putting aside the Castile funding to also look after their education. And I believe that's worthwhile investment. And I can bring down my loan amount that has a direct deduction from my pay. So I'm sharing here on how you can use the FNPF. If you start early, pay off your house, pay off your car. When you receive your FNPF, you don't have any obligation to pay off any of these things.
All paid
because
off.
It's all paid off. And the money is there for you to. You can only do what I am saying if you are doing it now, if you are still young, for you to clear all your debt, and then you're free to receive your money when you turn 55, and you say, this money is for me, it's for what I desire it to be, because I've managed. Because if not, when you receive that FNPF money, then you need to pay off your mortgage, because you've stopped working. You need to pay off your car if it's still pending. You need to pay off your piece of land. And when that happens, it leaves a little substantial amount for you to work with.
And I think most of the thought of, especially, when you have your FNPF, that's the money that you will start with. Yeah? I believe that's most of the thinking. Ono kuila mo tuwir to FNPF. Ono no torkina, ono tarabale, which is wrong. Yana no mu saving. No no sa ochikina mo daka. O koengo me baka na no spending money. Yung sa may chike vale. Yan na muna lile mura ko na lima sa unka lima gina. We thank the government now that you can receive your receive your FNPF on 55, but continue to work till 60.
That's nice.
Yeah. Oh, talita kina matintungo. Thank you, the government of the day, for that good thought. Na ni tu na FNPF. E baka kendali baka rami tu kaya yan limu na ngona. We're kimami yambaki bata. I'm 60. I'll be 63 this year. Lebu kimami yambaki bata mai. Urang yang mai teke utara vale nangon sa.
Torkina non relevant.
Yeah, 56, 57. Yeah. Ya namuna na tarvale oti. Urang le daga tale. Security taxi drivers to keep them going. Ya sini kana bakasama na bakasama. Indo no mo sa susumiti mai ko ela mai kina na saving. No mo saving. Dinin itu na songo ya. Na muna alam may kinahalo mo tua. Pangang takilawado doon But me ngono ko taka tuko kina so makede na kakede ngo. Na ngono mai o tikina na no mu taka. Kone lawa ya, it's on the side. Era ni investment se tauriko tu or tu talanga ngono tu salako tu mai. Ya ndora mu na ore tuko kina ni lebu tuko kina. Era sini na family table tak bango. Senga ni nonda kam na ito okay. Menda tal no taka no mu wasiato na 25%. It sounds very simple, but that's very real. None do talaga ngone wisaw. Do talaga ngone wisaw. Kona updating of a record keeping.
You know, you just have to. It doesn't take much. The form is on their website. You just fill the form and you send it back to them if you are not able to front up. Like for mine, I just fill the form and I send it on email for my nomination. And even now, see, that's one thing good about this government, for implementing that. If you, like what you mentioned, if you continue to work after 55, you still can have a FNPF, but you open a new one. You open a new one and you pay FNPF. And then you still have to give another new nomination for that. So whichever way it goes, you need to continuously update your record. And this is good because we're having this conversation on the Family Table Talk. So for those of you that are tuning in today, please, your first check, visit the FNPF or log in online and check what is your latest nomination form saying. What is it saying? Is it reflecting
the current one?
Is it reflecting your current family members? Or is it reflecting the very first time you fill the form? Whichever way you need to do that. And you need to correct those forms. Don't wait until you are sick. Don't wait until you are dying. Or don't wait until it's too late. Do it now. You're supposed to do that. And there shouldn't be talks about, okay, don't talk about that, I'm still alive. Be receptive.
Be real.
Be receptive to the fact that people can talk about you not being there. For me, I feel good because for me it gives me the assurance, these people are good to move on. If anything, they're good to move on. I don't want them to be, feeling down and out like I've taken their breath with me when I go. No, I want them to be alive and active and enjoying life for the life that I want them to live. They can mourn for me when I die, but I don't want them to continue to mourn for me. To remember the good things, the things that I've left behind with them as a legacy. But to continue to live on, because I'll be more happy when I'm looking, my daughter's enjoying her life. Or when I'm looking, my grandchildren are enjoying their life. Or I'm so blessed to see them that they're enjoying their life. So you have to be open-minded. You have to be, just a good planner. Like what I said, if you cannot do it, then discuss it with your spouse. Get your children to be part of it, to write it. For me, I'm just blessed because my children are married. They have their own children. So when we have our meeting or when we sit, when I ask them to do things, they are doing things for me without me having to line up or without me having to go to the bank. They will go to the extent even lining up at the bank, getting people to line up at the bank, and I'll just come in and slot in to make it easier for me because I'm not getting any younger. I'm getting older. So those are the things that we need to talk about at home. Create the atmosphere at home and talk about that. For the church that we belong to, we have put aside Tuesday. To be the day for family. Basically, just family time. Nothing else, family. Don't do any church work. Don't go out doing any excuse visiting anybody for church. Stay home. Allow your children to hear your voice. Allow your wife to hear your voice and your husband to hear your voice. Be a family. Stay home and just enjoy your family. And that's Tuesday night for the church that we belong to. And while you are at it, for those of you in the church that are tuning in today, maybe next time you check your FNPF. See, your FNPF, don't treat it like it's a secret. No, tell them. You tell them. For me, I don't treat it as a secret. I will come and tell, okay, when I die, no, that you have 25%, 25%, remember that. And on your 25%, do this and that and that and that. And if you're already doing that, then this is the next option for you to go. I discuss things with them. I don't like keep it in a limbo for me to die and then say, Mom left me 25%. No, I tell them. So they know. If it's going to happen, they know. So when I receive my FNPF when I'm still alive, I still give them their portion. Just like that I have died. I still give them their portion. because it's something that I planned for them, something that I've wanted them to be part of it, because these are the very children that I neglect at home when I'm stuck in that Pacific hangar on the 3rd floor until 1 o'clock in the morning. I worked in that place. I'm a workaholic. And sometimes when I'm there, my children are calling. And I remember one of the early mornings, my grandson Joshua, he was still in primary school. So he called my landline and then he says, Nana, when are you coming home? And I look at the time, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. And I said, oh my boy, what are you still doing, Lupiango? Go to sleep. And then who else is there? No, we are all here. I'm just asking, when are you coming home? And I said, I'm coming home soon. I'll wait for you. I'm sitting here at the door. That got me running home. And because I get carried away with work. And I'm the kind of person, when I do something, I will not leave it until I'm done with it. And all that hours, the moment that has taken me away from my family, I want the FNPF or the money that I managed to earn, that I want the very family that I have left behind most of the time, I want them to receive and to know that what I did at that time was a sacrifice, maybe, was neglection on my part, negligence. Maybe I leave them too many times on their own at home, but at least they can have a portion of what I have worked hard for. And this is my own thinking. So for all of us here today, when you are having your family meetings, try and have your family meetings. I mean, our church has it on Tuesday. It doesn't have to be on Tuesday. It can be any day during the week. You don't need to be going to church to be doing that. You just need to have a family to do that. If you have a family, please organize a day for your family. Do anything for fun. I was thinking of sharing the clips that we've had as a family. Thank you, Tiare, for capturing those moments, and Thai. But I will try and show those clips a little bit later.
During a family table talk like this.
Yeah, I was thinking to bring it for Anare to play it this morning,
minutes,
and I forgot to send it to him. Maybe it's not meant. I'll show it to the church first. On how we spend our family time. It's not expensive, very cheap, and very engaging. Everybody's involved, and it's fun. Yeah. It's fun.
A lot of laughter.
Yeah, it's
and
really
shouting
fun.
And running around.
And that's what it is. So please set aside a day in your busy schedule, whatever that you're busy with, to dedicate it to your family. Because when you die, or when something happens to you, all the rest, they can say, the company, the church, the community, they can replace you. But your family, you are irreplaceable. So invest and leave a legacy with them on how much you love them. And also with the things that you earn. Like for me, because we were working for the airline, school holidays, I love my children. Holidays on Friday, I'm traveling with my children. Every school holidays, I take my children abroad. And we are coming back the day before school starts. Every school holiday, I will take them. And I want them to know and to feel where I work and what I get and what I do. I want them to benefit, for them to understand what I do. And it has been a journey. And I must thank my children for being there for me. I remember the days when I used to audit the flight to Auckland and Sydney, and or for Australia, because it's just a turnaround flight. We'll get off the plane and I'll take them to a coffee place, buy their stuff, get their drawing books or studies and books, and I will tell them, okay, just wait here for half an hour. Mom is going back to the plane. And after I finish all my work, and then we'll stay around, and then the plane goes back in the day, and I take my children with me. So thank you for bearing with me and sitting in the empty airport. Sometimes it's unusually time of the night, like in the Melbourne flight when you have to leave in the midnight because you have to organize your children on the side and do work on the side. And yeah, it has been an experience, and they've been a part of my journey. And that is why I love my family, I love my children, and I love my grandchildren. And I would like us, beginning today for 2025, if you haven't had the time to spend more time with your family, try and make 2025 to be the year. If you haven't had the time to even know anything further of your children, try and make the time to do that. If your children are married and they bring home partners that you don't approve of, try and embrace their love, embrace their wish, and embrace their choices. Some of us, we don't embrace their choices, and our children, they love us. Your children, they love you. And when you say that you don't like their partners when they bring home, or their wives or their husband when they bring them home, you make them torn between the two love. the love they have for their spouse and the love they have for you as parents. Because the love they have for you is irreplaceable. And because they don't have any other parents. The love they have for their husbands or their wives, maybe that can change when something happened. But the parenting and the parents' love is something so unique and very different. And when you allow those kind of situations to happen, when you speak against maybe their wrong choices, maybe they just bring somebody totally different to what you want them to be involved with. And when they do, and when you say those kind of words, you will never realize the hurt and the pain in their heart because they love them and they love you. And to a point that sometimes they don't look forward to come home because they know as and when they do that, there's always a rebuff when that happens. And they will always respect you and honor you because you are their parents. So just a word of advice to the parents out there, embrace yours. I embraced mine. I didn't realize, I mean, my daughter-in-law, my only daughter-in-law, because I only have a son, when she came in and then I said, okay, and she will come when I'm cooking. Oh, Auntie, I want to learn to do that. I said, come. So I will teach her all. Okay, this is how you do gravy. This is how you do curry. This is how you do sausage. And I love those moments. Not only she was learning, it bond us together. So I look at my daughter-in-law like my own daughter. And I look at my son-in-law like my own sons. I have Taito, who's all the way from Banga, and I have Henry all the way from Tavua. And with Matt, who had passed on, was like a son to me. I look after my in-laws or my sons-in-law and my daughter-in-law like they are my own children because I love my children. Look, when you love your children, you will love everything that they bring home. You will love anything that has to do with them. You will love their children. You will love their husbands. You will love their wives. So at the end of life, you are the one who's passing through and you will be moving on, and they have the life to live. So even if you don't agree with the things that they're doing, counsel them, talk to them, and if they persist to do that, don't lose them. Keep them on your side. And when your in-laws or your daughter-in-law, son-in-law come home, they lack in so many ways. They're not the children they're not the same as your children you've raised up. They lack, like what my daughter-in-law shared on Sunday. She came home, she doesn't know how to cook because she was brought up in a place that her mother does everything. And I believe most girls are like that. And or maybe the son that your daughter brought home is not the son-in-law that you would ever desire for her to have. Maybe they don't work. Maybe they just do full-time work in the ministry. Maybe they don't have any pay slip that they can bring to you or to bring home. And you begin to feel that they're not suited for your children. But whichever way it goes, love them. Embrace them. And like I'll say it again, if you love your children, you will love everything that they bring home. You will love their spouses, and most of all, you will love their children because there's nothing that can be compared to having grandchildren. We have 7 grandchildren. We're still counting. Faithfully, we'll reach 14, but that still has to happen. Well, on that note, thank you for joining us today. I will give this time to my husband to share whatever burdens in his heart as we wrap up our program today.
Yeah, as we talk about planning for us to hand over, switch baton, it is always good to talk about those things while we're still young, alive, and because we are handing over a baton for them to carry on. And no parents want their children to start from where we started. We want them to continue where we end. So the best thing is to relay some information, something that we are sharing. The property, the title, the equipment, the cars, the house, even the work, even the piece of land, or ingoli, all those things. They need to know. Because for us, it's okay, most of the time, we are just by the word of mouth.
And trust.
And trust. And sometimes things are different, changing. And when people come and they have differences, and then the government will go back to the book that counts. So we are encouraging you because we face through phone calls and discussion that comes from the church members and even outsiders that they are going through all these things, the differences
Yeah.
of those that are alive. Before we go, we invite you, if you are free tomorrow, we are having a church service at the Foreshore at 8 o'clock, 8:30. So, 9 o'clock if you're free, and also at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If you stay outside Suva and you can't come, remember, we have television, My TV, to tune in on.
Yeah.
And with those said, we wish everyone a wonderful and blessed weekend.
Pinaka.
A family is an epitome of God's love towards mankind. God designed us to live in families, and the Bible reveals that family relationships are important to Him.
But as a believer, do you feel that you are still struggling?
Maybe you're still struggling with your relationship,
Struggling with your finances?
struggling at work,
With your social life?
or with your spiritual life.
We invite you to join us
On our Family Table Talk every Saturday,
at 7:30 a.m. on My TV.
or catch us on our Facebook page.
Covered by Villawa, who covers so much ground, and off he goes. Oh, this is wizardry from Villawa. McNulty catches him.